This was the footage of Lil Jeff that everyone believed would be used to charge his shooter, Trap City Rob. Yet, the man who shared details of the shooting was released less than 24 hours after his arrest. Now, investigators think they've uncovered something new. Recent court filings suggest a breakthrough in the case, and rumors are swirling that crucial footage may have just resurfaced. Could this be the evidence that finally changes everything? We thought we knew about Lil Jeff's tragic end. Stay tuned. We're breaking it all down. The CPD footage. There has been a lot of speculation about the circumstances surrounding Lil Jeff's death and the police investigation into identifying his killer. However, a recent court document, backed by footage of his shooting, may have just changed everything we know about the case. According to the court documents detailing the charges against Robert Coleman, aka Trap City Rob, the Chicago Police Department claims to have probable cause to arrest him. A witness identified Rob at the scene during the shooting death of Jeffrey L. Harris, also known as Lil Jeff, along with electronic surveillance. While authorities have yet to release any footage from Lil Jeff's murder, surveillance footage that went viral on social media captures the exact moment he was shot and killed while attempting a hit on another man. In the video, Lil Jeff can be seen stepping out of a vehicle and immediately firing multiple shots at a man wearing yellow shorts. According to police scanner recordings, the man was hit in the chest, but still managed to flee into a nearby building. Desperate to eliminate his target, Lil Jeff chased after him, still firing his gun. But just as Jeff is about to go through the door, multiple shots ring out from inside the building, sending him tumbling down the steps and onto the floor. A second video, capturing a different angle of the incident, shows three men who accompanied Jeff on the hit, watching as the shooter stands over the rapper and empties his magazine into him. According to reports, Lil Jeff was shot a total of 19 times, leaving him no chance of surviving the attack. Meanwhile, a second piece of footage shows a man wearing a pink outfit, later identified as Q50, firing at a vehicle passing by the scene. At first, it seemed like he shot at the vehicle for no reason, but a closer look at the first footage shows that the man in yellow shorts had been talking to someone inside that same vehicle just before Lil Jeff started shooting at him. After the vehicle manages to escape the scene, Q50 and another man dressed in all black can be seen firing multiple shots toward the building where Lil Jeff was shot. A brief exchange of gunfire is heard in the footage, and at some point, both men are seen hurriedly retreating toward the getaway vehicle, with Q50 noticeably limping, possibly indicating he was hit in the leg. Just before the men flee the scene, the driver of the getaway car steps out, looks at Lil Jeff getting shot, and realizes it's too late to save him. They then flee, leaving Lil Jeff's bullet-ridden body lying on the front porch. However, after circling the area to make sure the coast was clear, Q50 and another man returned to carry Lil Jeff's body from the porch and rush him to the hospital. A picture later surfaced online, showing Q50 and the other man carrying Lil Jeff's lifeless body, confirming reports that Jeff had been killed. Meanwhile, Lil Jeff's shooter never appeared in any of the surveillance footage, but sources have claimed that the shooter was seen standing over Lil Jeff's body and firing into him at point-blank range. This would have put him within view of any eyewitnesses, which may explain why the court document states that an eyewitness placed Trap City Rob at the scene of the shooting. Days after the shooting, Reddit users identified Trap City Rob as Lil Jeff's killer after an old video of him sitting outside the house where Jeff was killed was uploaded on Reddit. In the video, Rob can be seen smoking weed on the front porch of the building. Although Rob has never admitted to being the one who killed Lil Jeff, he confirmed fans' speculations about the building when he revealed during a June 2024 interview that the house where the shooting occurred was owned by his grandmother. During that same interview, Rob seemed to clear up any doubts about whether he was at the scene when Lil Jeff was killed by revealing that they were ambushed by 6 bloodhounds, including Lil Jeff, on that fateful day. When asked to clear the air on some of the social media controversy surrounding the case, Rob answered,
I think the video, I think that I was like, damn, it's 6 out there, you know? It's crazy, bro.
Rob's initial statement referred to the social media frenzy surrounding Lil Jeff's death and how fans quickly turned him into a hero for killing someone who had become a menace on the streets. Rob was even dubbed the Defensive Player of the Year by fans who praised him for stepping up at the last moment to save his friend, who was being hunted by a known killer. More importantly, Rob's admission that they were ambushed by 6 ops places him at the crime scene and, in a way, sounds like him explaining that he acted in self-defense. However, despite all the evidence pointing to Rob as Jeff's killer, Some fans argue that he wasn't at the scene when it happened, in a desperate attempt to prevent him from being charged with murder. The fact that the footage doesn't actually show the shooter has also led Trap City loyalists to insist that there is no solid evidence linking Rob to the shooting. Although court documents showed that Trap City Rob was initially charged with first-degree murder, the charges were later dropped due to a lack of evidence, and instead, the police charged him with unlawful possession of a handgun. Despite the reduced charges, some fans took to a Reddit thread to express their frustration that he was still being charged after defending himself from an attack. While responding to the thread, one Reddit user wrote, "Lamau, so the Jeff situation is actual? Proof that having a gun around is necessary to stay alive. But it doesn't matter. The options are either die or save yourself and sit in prison for years." Another person commented, "Same here, and I don't think dude should get charged anyway. He defended himself, and that's all that matters. He literally wasn't hurting anybody. That DA is just power hungry." A third person had a different perspective, pointing out the importance of legally owning a gun. They wrote, "This is why you're supposed to own a gun legally. Like, go buy it from a gun store. But get your gun license first. Then you won't have to worry about jail time." Amid all the drama and controversy, it has been revealed that Rob is currently sitting in jail, most likely due to the armed habitual criminal charge brought against him by the Chicago Police Department. A Reddit user once explained, "He was arrested at the same place where Lil Jeff got killed. Probably had a gun on him when they arrested him, so he got charged with armed habitual." However, before being sent to jail, Rob released a short snippet in which he was seen viciously dissing Lil Jeff and all bloodhounds. In the video, Rob appears to be in the studio, and at one point he can be heard rapping, "Don't fall, you better not trip. They talk about sliding, I just watched him slip. This is not a game, better get a grip." While Rob doesn't mention any names directly, his lyrics seem to describe how Lil Jeff tried to slide on him and his crew, but ended up catching multiple bullets and collapsing on Rob's front porch. But weeks before Rob's diss video surfaced online, several Trap City members, including Trap City Rob, took their beef with the Bloodhounds to another level by posting a highly disrespectful video. In the clip, they reenacted Lil Jeff's shooting at the front porch where he was killed. In the video, one of the Trap City members can be heard asking, "Why y'all want to go to the porch?" The group then walks a short distance before arriving at Rob's front porch, where one of them mimics how Lil Jeff fell to the ground after being hit multiple times. Shortly after Trap City shared the video, Lil Jeff's father, Jeffrey Harris, sent out a warning to Trap City, making it clear that the feud was far from over. In a Facebook post, Harris wrote, "And to let it be known, y'all didn't get him. He came trying to get y'all, and what happened, happened. But the saga continues, clear the streets." Since making the threat, many lives have been lost on both sides, and from all indications, there seems to be no end to this conflict anytime soon. While the feud between Trap City and Drill City seems set to continue for the foreseeable future, things were not always this heated between the two gangs. So, what exactly started this war? Drill City versus Trap City. For the last couple of years, the deadly rivalry between Drill City and Trap City has led to the deaths of several people on both sides. Lil Jeff was one of the key figures who fueled this violent war, and many believed that his death would put an end to the killings. But instead, it has only led to more bloodshed. Sadly, most of the victims of this rivalry have been barely legal or young adults, like Lil Jeff, who was only 21 years old when he was brutally murdered. Before we get into the origins of the beef between these two Chicago street gangs, let's first get familiar with them. Drill City, also known as the Bloodhounds, is an African-American teenage street gang primarily based in Chicago, between 79th Street and Maryland Avenue. They are known for their violent robberies and shootings, with many of these crimes being referenced in their songs, making their hood highly controversial. Due to their ruthless nature, the Bloodhounds have very few allies and are known to have serious personal beefs with two Chicago street gangs, BKN and Trap City. For this video, we will be focusing on their conflict with Trap City. Unlike the DI Bloodhounds, Trap City is a faction of mainly gangster disciples located around the 67th and Champlain area. However, their exact territory stretches from 67th to 69th Street, covering St. Lawrence to Cottage Grove. They are closely allied with CW Bass, and this alliance has become a dominant force in the area over the last few years. Interestingly, Trap City and the Bloodhounds were once close allies. There are even old pictures showing members of both gangs hanging out together. In one particular photo, Trap City Taro, Bloodhound Lil Jeff, and Bloodhound Q50 can be seen posing together before the feud began. However, sometime in early 2023, things took a turn for the worse between the two gangs after Lil Jeff stole a Trap City members chain. At first, the accusations of theft against Lil Jeff were just social media rumors, but Trap City Taro and Trap City Rob later confirmed the story during a July 2024 interview. During the interview, Rob and Taro explained how they used to be allied with the Bloodhounds until Jeff ran off with the chain of one of their homies. Rob said, "He stole the chain, bro. We tried, took it. He stole my homie's chain." The chain must have been worth a lot because it pissed off Trap City so badly that they retaliated by killing Lil Jeff's cousin, Zer Nelson, aka Zoni, on March 16, 2023. Nelson was 22 years old at the time and was reportedly shot so many times that the doctors stopped counting at 29 bullet wounds. Apart from being Lil Jeff's cousin, Nelson also had strong ties to several Bloodhound members, and the group took his murder as a direct attack on their collective. Nelson's death had a profound impact on Lil Jeff, sending him on a relentless mission for revenge that resulted in even more killings. But before the Bloodhounds could retaliate against their rivals, Trap City struck again, launching another attack on the Bloodhounds that left Q50 with a gunshot wound. Luckily for Q50, the bullet didn't cause serious damage and he made a quick recovery. Not long after, Q50 and Lil Jeff jumped on Instagram to rap about the incident. In the video, Q50 starts by rapping, "Shot me in my leg, next month I shot his throat." Lil Jeff then follows up with, "They shot my cousin but ain't kill him. For some weeks straight, we was spinning. But the only difference is, when she got caught, we killed him." In Q50's verse, he talks about shooting someone's throat the next month. And while he may not have been the shooter, he was referring to the fatal shooting of 19-year-old Jalel Goins. Goins, also known as Leal within the Trap City fold, was brutally shot and killed while sitting in a rideshare on June 25, 2023. The shooting happened at about 8:55 p.m. in the 1300 block of West Taylor Street. Police revealed that Leal was sitting in the rideshare when someone walked up to the car, shot him through the window, and then ran off. The rideshare driver, Robert Smith, managed to drive Goins to Rush University Medical Center, where he was pronounced dead. While recounting the ordeal, Smith told Sun Times, "I tried to save him. I didn't care about traffic lights and speed cameras. I really wanted him to survive. I was praying for him the whole way there. When they took him out of the car, I was praying for the surgeons to do what they could do." While law enforcement in Chicago struggled to find the shooter and chalked it up as another unsolved murder, the streets knew exactly where the attack had come from. Before long, Lil Jeff claimed responsibility for the shooting. Taking to Instagram Live, the rapper can be heard saying, "Go ask my ops, that Michael Drake, hizzy ain't get out that car." He then flashed a gun at the camera. After seemingly claiming the hit on Leal, Lil Jeff took the trolling to another level by mocking Trap City Taro over the loss. It all happened when Taro took to Facebook to mourn the loss of his friend, posting a photo of himself and Leal with the caption, "I wish I could get it back." Lil Jeff, the ultimate troll, dropped a care emoji on the post. But the rapper wasn't done yet. He had saved the best for last. While going live another day, Lil Jeff mocked Leal's death by recreating how the murder happened. In the video, the rapper can be seen running toward a white vehicle parked at a gas station. When he reaches the passenger's window, he mimics, shooting through the car with his hands, just like how Leal was killed. About 2 months later, Lil Jeff and Q50 struck again, allegedly trying to take out Trap City Glenn. The shooting happened on August 31, 2024, and Glenn was hit with 15 bullets, but somehow survived the attack. Q50 later rapped about the incident, claiming that he shot Glenn 10 times while Jeff shot him 5 times. Things seemed to quiet down for a while, but Lil Jeff wasn't done yet. He still had his sights set on completing the hit on Glenn. More than 6 months after the first attempt, Lil Jeff and his crew traveled deep into Trap City territory and tried to kill Glenn again. According to sources, the man in the yellow, Shorts that Lil Jeff was chasing was Glenn from the previous failed murder attempt. Unfortunately, the second attempt on Glenn's life went horribly wrong, and it ended with Lil Jeff getting killed at the height of his prime. But while Lil Jeff's beef with Trap City may have cost him his life, it was another rivalry with a different gang that earned him his killer reputation and catapulted him to fame. The double homicide that made Lil Jeff famous. The killing of 2 teenage boys by Lil Jeff will go down in history as the murders that made many aware of his deadly abilities. His victims were teenage boys who never got the chance to graduate, aged 16 and 17 respectively. Lil Rob and Monty were silenced forever outside their school premises on January 26, 2024. On that fateful day, students of Innovations High School went on a lunch break, just like any other day. But little did they know it would be their last meal on Earth. While walking in front of the Washington Wash Station, Lil Rob and Monty were attacked by armed, masked men. A surveillance clip showed that the assailants had tracked them to the location while driving a dark blue Infiniti SUV. Upon spotting their targets, 3 men jumped out of the vehicle and opened fire, intending to execute the teenagers. This went on for about 15 seconds, and as the masked men unloaded bullets, people ran in all directions, desperately seeking cover. Unfortunately, both Monty and Lil Rob were hit in critical areas, leaving no hope for survival. The victims were shot in the hips and chest. After the shooting, the masked men ran back into their vehicle and sped off along Stevenson Expressway and DuSable Drive. Finally, they headed towards South Suburban Dalton in Calumet City. Following their escape, people began to gather around. The victims, some trying to help, while others just screamed in horror after realizing the severity of their wounds. Eventually, the pair were rushed to the hospital, but were pronounced dead. Lil Jeff's reaction to the killings. Following the tragedy, Lil Jeff made no effort to hide his satisfaction with the untimely deaths of Lil Rob and Monty. Not that this is anything new among drill rappers with street beefs, but Lil Jeff wasted no time bragging about the murders, even before their bodies went cold. Excitedly, he posted a video mocking the downfall of his ops. At the same time, it seemed that while indulging in self-pride, he didn't care about self-snitching. In the clip, Lil Jeff was seen driving a car alongside 2 others who were with him. The video also showed the men wearing masks and black clothing, identical to the outfits worn by the masked shooters who had just gunned down Lil Rob and Monty. Without hesitation, Lil Jeff vibed to the music on the stereo, then peeled off his mask, revealing to fans that he was the man behind the attack. Fans react to Lil Jeff's show-off. This show-off attracted mixed reactions from fans. Some believed Lil Jeff had every right to act out, while others were shocked at his boldness. One person wrote, "Man, I know he was extra geeked he caught them. It'd be like that, especially when they was trolling." Another commented, "They was gonna rob him again, that's why it happened." A third added, "And then jail? This blatant? Didn't get it at all." Lil Jeff takes it a step further. As if Lil Jeff's show-off clip wasn't already controversial enough, a few weeks later, the rapper hit the studio to release a new track titled Ah, where he rapped about the whole incident. According to the lyrics, "Them did what they did and had to pay the consequence, you know that. Now he on the floor looking like I just walked in lids for 2 hats. Really stepping on blood, know how it get." But the truth was, Lil Jeff had always claimed that Lil Rob and Monty were guilty of something. Right before their deaths, the rapper went live to explain that the teenagers had planned to rob him during a hangout, and they succeeded.
Said, "Let me take a picture, this, that, and that." I look up and then ran down. We all the way at the top of the staircase.
Lil Jeff alleged that they attacked him with 5 other guys and ran off before he could react. This claim was reinforced after videos from Monty went viral on the internet. In the clip, the teenager, along with his friend, taunted the bloodhounds, especially Lil Jeff, while flaunting a pair of wristwatches and a neck chain. They mocked the jewelry, laughing as they claimed it was fake, while also pointing their guns at the camera. The teenagers then chimed in.
Tell the ops, stop winning that, stop winning that fake ass 50K. Tell the ops start winning that fake ass J.
Regardless of what might have started the beef, fans believe the teenager's audacity did not warrant such a brutal death. Unlike previous murders allegedly linked to Lil Jeff that remained unsolved, the police were able to make progress in the double homicide case. Ultimately, authorities tracked down Lil Jeff as one of the killers after an unnamed tipster pointed them to the clip he shared just minutes after the murder. The video showed Lil Jeff riding inside the same blue-colored Infiniti SUV that was used during the murder. About a year after the killings, the police made their first arrest. Tommy Coleman, a 22-year-old, was arrested in January in the 5700 block of North Mason Avenue. Upon establishing his involvement, the police charged him with 2 felony counts of first-degree murder and 1 count each of attempted first-degree murder, aggravated discharge of a firearm from an occupied vehicle, and possession of a weapon by a felon. Coleman, who was also cited for not registering a weapon, made his first court appearance a few days after his arrest. During the hearing, prosecutors argued that Coleman and the other 2 men who attacked the teenagers had ongoing beef with them. The prosecutors also added that one of the masked men responsible for the killings had died in June 2024. This deceased culprit, referred to as Lil Jeff, was killed in June 2024 while chasing and shooting at another man. Meanwhile, the 3rd suspect was a student at Innovations High School in the Loop. His name is James Allison, a 20-year-old who was apprehended a few days after Coleman's arrest. Like Coleman, Allison was hit with multiple charges, including 2 counts of first-degree murder and 1 count each of attempted murder, aggravated discharge of a firearm, and aggravated unlawful possession of a weapon. Lil Jeff might not have faced any charges since the murders were unsolved before his untimely death, but he paid the ultimate price when he was unexpectedly shot by a Trap City member during a high-speed chase. For more intriguing clips on trending topics, feel free to click on the card showing on the screen.